welcome, and I'm very excited to do this topic. This is a question which was sent in by a student who really did understand this particular question which had come on the 14th December 2024 paper. Let me share that question with you first. So the question says that a primary class mathematics teacher gave his students the following problems to solve. How many classes of 28 pupils would be needed for a school of 616 pupils? Now, this is not the question. The question is not 616 divided by 28. One of the students solved the problem this way. Basically, what the student has said is one class has 28 pupils. Therefore, for 10 classes, we can accommodate 280, another 10, 280. Therefore, we get 560. And in another 2 classes, we can have 56. And therefore, we get 616. Okay, so this is what the child has done. 10 classes, 280. 10 classes, 280. 560 is your total, and for 2 classes you have 56, total is 616, and he gives the answer as 10 plus 10 plus 2, which is 22 classes. Now the question which CTET asks, and this is a paper 1 question, please. Which of the following is most appropriate for the algorithm which has been used by the student? The student has used both the distributive and associative laws of division. The student has used an incorrect algorithm. This is of course wrong. Student has used some correct algorithm. He has used the associative law of division, and he has used the distributive law of division across addition. Now, I think this is a very beautiful question because what it brings to you is the concept clarity which is needed for a very simple topic which is taught in class 6, which is called the properties of whole numbers. In this video, I would like to talk to you about the closure property of whole numbers, the commutative, the associative, and the distributive property of whole numbers, and also the identity of whole numbers, both the additive identity and the multiplicative identity. It's a very, very simple concept actually, and once you understand this concept, we will come back to this question. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Swasti Dhar, and I train teachers and trainee teachers to appear and crack the CTET in their very first attempt through my self-paced online courses. These are available on my website www.lwsctet.com. It's called CTET Success Blueprint. It's both for paper 1 and paper 2, MS and social science. You can buy it anytime and study on your own. And 3 to 4 months before the upcoming CTET, you join me twice a week, once a week for weekly sessions and once a week to solve CTET papers, the PYP papers. Needless to say, I've already started the courses for the upcoming CTET July 2025 papers. So coming back to the properties of whole numbers, let's begin. So we begin with the closure property, which says whole numbers are closed with respect to addition and multiplication. So what does this mean? To understand the meaning of closed, think of a set. Everything within the set is similar, and anything which is not similar lies outside. So we will take the set of whole numbers. Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, and then it goes on right up to infinity. So when we say that whole numbers are closed with respect to addition and multiplication, it means that if you take any 2 whole numbers, let me take 0 and let me take 100, and if I add them, 0 plus 100, I will get a number which is always a whole number. So whole number plus whole number is always a whole number. That is what this is. For multiplication, again, let me take any 2 whole numbers. Let me say take 3 into 2, I get 6. I can take 100 into 352, I will get 35200. This is also a whole number. So whole number multiplied by a whole number is always equal to a whole number. This is what is meant when we say that whole numbers are closed with respect to addition and multiplication, which begs the question, are whole numbers closed with respect to subtraction and division? Okay, so let's think a little and answer this question. So let's take any 2 whole numbers. Let me take 6 and let me subtract 12. I get minus 6. Now, is minus 6 a whole number? Minus 6 is not a whole number. This is an integer because remember, whole numbers are from 0, 1 onwards. So no negative numbers will come in a whole number. So closure property does not hold for subtraction. Similarly, it does not hold for division either. Because if I have, let's say, the same number, 6 divided by 12, I get 1 by 2, which is a fraction. It is not a whole number. So that is what we mean by the closure property, it being closed with respect to addition and subtraction. It just sounds fancy. Let's move on to the commutative property of whole numbers. To commute means to move from one to the other. The commutative property says A plus B is equal to B plus A. This again works over addition and multiplication. So let's take an example. Let's take 5 into 6. Is it the same as 6 into 5? Yes, because both the answers are 30. So this is multiplication. Similarly, if we take 5 plus 6, it is the same as 6 plus 5, which is equal to 11. So when we commute the things, when we move from A to B or B to A, it is irrespective. How does it help? Practically, basically when we are teaching children table, if they know that 3 into 5 is 15, they also know in the 5 times table that 5 into 3 is 15. So it doesn't matter the order in which they are multiplied. So that's the commutative property. Remember it as commute means to move from one to the other. So whether you're adding or multiplying A and B first or then B and A, it doesn't matter. So that is a commutative property. Let's now move on to the associative property. The associative property is used when there are three numbers. So A plus B plus C if we have to do, then whether we do A plus B first and then add C, or we do A plus and we add B plus C first, we will get the same answer. This again holds true over both addition and multiplication. So let's see. Let's say we have 10 plus 5 plus 6. So we can do 15 plus 6 and we get 21. We can also do 10 plus 11 and we get 21. So what we do first does not matter. Similarly, let's do 10 into 5 into 6. We can do 10 into 5, 50 and multiply it with 6 and get 300. Or we can also do 10 into 5, 6 are 30, which is 300. So this is the associative property. So remember the phrase 3 is company and associates. So associate is a company. So associative property is with 3 people. Now we move on to the distributive property. Distributive property happens either over addition or subtraction. Both it will happen. And the second thing you remember is that both multiplication and addition subtraction happens. So when we do A into B plus C, this can be A into B plus A into C. So we have distributed the multiplication over addition. It can also be distributed over subtraction. A into B minus C is the same as AB minus AC. Now the distributive property has a lot of use for simplification and also for solving sums. Let's see. Let's say you're given a sum 56 into 3. Now you can conventionally do it this way where we write 56 into 3, 3 6 are 18, carry 1, 3 5 are 15, plus 1, 16, we get 168. But we can write this as 50 plus 6 into 3. Okay, so A into B plus, so 3 into 50 is 150, 3 into 6 is 18 and we easily get 168. This is how the distributive property is used. Let me take another sum, 12 into 9. Now this of course I expect you to know by heart, but let's do this. So this is 90 plus 18, 108. These are fast ways of doing something. The distributive property also stands for subtraction. Let's say I want to put it as 10 minus 2 into 9. So 90 minus 18 will give me 72. So this can easily be done and it's usually done when you have numbers which are closer to 100. Now before I go back and solve that sum which I showed you, that question which was asked, which tests your concept, let me also explain. This will close this entire topic of properties of whole numbers about the concept of identity. So every whole number has an additive identity and a multiplicative identity. So the additive identity is 0, which is a number which if you add it to any whole number will give me back the same whole number. So let's say I want to add a particular number to 3 so that I get back 3. So 3 plus what number will give me 3? So 3 plus 0 gives me 3. So 0 is the additive identity. Similarly, there is another identity which is 1, which is the multiplicative identity. As you would have guessed it, it is that number which if it is multiplied with any whole number will give me back the same whole number. So what number do I multiply with, say 126 to get back 126? So we know that if we multiply 1 with any number, we get back that same number. So 0 is the additive identity and 1 is the multiplicative identity. Now once you've understood this basic concept, this was taught in class 6, let's go back to that question and see what the child has done. So let's see what the child has really done. He has done 28, 10 plus 10 plus 2. He has multiplied it this way. So he has used the distributive property. He has distributed multiplication over addition. So this is the correct answer. So now let's go through the other options given. He has used both the distributive and associative. He has not used associative at all because there are only two numbers. Associative, remember, is A plus B plus C or A into B plus B into C. So associative is not used. Again, associative is not used. Incorrect, we cannot say. So he has used the distributive law of division across addition to solve the problem. So I'm sure you would have loved learning about this. Understand that concepts are very, very important in CTET and especially in paper 1, also in paper 2. They love asking you concept-based questions. So this was a question which I really loved, and I thought that this would be a lovely way to explain to you the closure property and all the properties of whole numbers. This is something done in class 6, but we really don't understand the properties, or we don't remember the property. You can check out my entire course on CTET on my website www.lwsctet.com, and if you would like to be a part of my preparation group to get updates about CTET as well as teacher education, do consider joining my CTET WhatsApp preparation group. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know anything else that you would like to learn about in the comments below. Bye-bye.